You sit down to work, study, or start that passion project you've been talking about for months. You have the time. You know what you should be doing, but your brain feels like it's running on empty. You tell yourself, I'll just start when I feel motivated. Hours pass, and that feeling never comes. Here's the truth. You don't lack willpower and you aren't naturally lazy. Your brain's motivation system is simply miscalibrated. Today, we're going to look at the psychology of why your drive died and the exact psychological steps to get it back. To understand why you feel stuck, we have to look at dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the feeling of reward you get after achieving something. But in psychology and neuroscience, dopamine is actually the molecule of anticipation. It's what drives you to act. When you flood your brain with quick, effortless dopamine hits all day, scrolling feeds, playing games, eating hyperpalatable food, your brain naturally turns down its receptor sensitivity to protect itself. This drops your baseline motivation. Suddenly, normal tasks like writing an essay or organizing your life feel agonizingly boring because their dopamine return can't compete with your phone.
So how do most people try to fix this? They rely on sheer willpower. They force themselves to work, gritting their teeth, relying on what psychologists call push motivation. The problem? Willpower is a limited cognitive resource, a phenomenon known as ego depletion. Every time you resist a temptation or force yourself to focus, you drain that battery. To fix your motivation, you need to shift from pushing yourself to creating pull motivation. Here is the 3-step psychological reset.
First, raise the friction on high dopamine distractions. If your phone is in your hand, resisting it takes active brain power. If it's in another room inside a drawer, the physical effort to go get it gives your prefrontal cortex time to interrupt the impulse. Second, lower activation energy. Lay out your clothes, open the document you need to work on the night before, and clear your desk. Make starting effortless. Third, protect your morning baseline. Checking notifications within 10 minutes of waking up immediately spikes and crashes your dopamine baseline before your day even starts. Here is the biggest mental myth you need to break. You do not need to feel motivated to take action. In psychology, there's a principle known as the motivation loop. Most people think the order is motivation-action, but psychological research shows the true order is often action results motivation. Action comes first. Use the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself you only have to work on a task for 120 seconds. If you want to stop after 2 minutes, you have permission to quit. 80% of the time, once you cross the friction of starting, momentum takes over and you keep going. Motivation isn't a magical lightning bolt that strikes out of nowhere. It's an emotional side effect of taking small, aligned actions. Reclaim your attention, lower your cheap dopamine intake, and focus simply on taking the first 2 minutes of action.